Hello members one and all of the Salivation Nation, and this video is about some lessons that I've learned at a recent coin show. And the thing is that some of these lessons I've kind of outlined before and some of them I'd already known about, but just in the heat of the moment and going through and the confusion of it all, because it is a bit overwhelming, even at a smaller show, sometimes it's very easy to forget. But one must take a step back and kind of take it all in, and that's part of some of the tips that I'm going to give you for attending a coin show. There's many in this community who have lamented that they don't have coin shows near them, or at least, some of the local shows, some of the smaller shows, or any at all. So you have to travel a great distance. But it doesn't matter, because in the end, whether it be a big show or a small show, whether it be a show that's right next door or one that's 200 miles away, it doesn't matter, because you're being parted with your money. So this is about getting the most for your money at a coin show, no matter what the size it may be. So the first thing you want to do, and this is what I did do going into this coin show, is you want to go in and take a methodic trip around all the booths and start map it out. Get the layout. Now, the place where I was at, it was a pretty small venue, so I was able to instantly see the bourse floor and all the dealers therein. But the idea is to methodically go down each row on each side and to just explore what they have. Take a quick look through and see what they have. And because even if you've made a list, which is always good to prepare for those things that you really want, if you're looking for, it's always good to see what other opportunities may arise there, that even though you may want a particular coin or a certain product, you may see a really good deal on something, and you may want to shift to be flexible, have that flexibility. So go through the entire bourse floor, look at all the dealers. And in fact, people say, well, can I help you with something? And I just tell them, well, thank you, I'm just taking a pass through, and they understand that. You review what every table has, and out for display there. There are times when people have things in the back, and but whatever they don't have out front, well, you're never really going to know until you see it. And you can, unless there's a particular piece you're asking for, a year and a date set that you're asking for, it's a little difficult to see what they have in the back, unless you really know what you want and you're not seeing it anywhere else. And even if you find what you need and what you're looking for, ask around. Take the time to really look around and see if somebody has it for a better price. I've seen several times, just by looking at the prices that people had on certain products, that some had, silver coins, modern coins that, some for $2-3 cheaper than somebody else may have them. And I also saw somebody who had one of those cheap Bitcoin, copper Bitcoins, metals. They were asking $40 for it. That's just way too much. And but somebody who may not know may think, well, that sounds like a good deal, and Bitcoin's up in price nowadays. All this thing is just a little token, a little commemorative copper piece that's worth $2, and but they were charging that high dollar for it. So there you have it. And so what I did, and where I made my first mistake, is I found gold at spot price. I got this thing for spot price, and so that blew my budget for the most part. And if you're looking for common pieces like this, which I did not get at the coin show, well, it's it's overwhelming, because there's so many different ones out there. And if you want to find a piece that's really nice for the condition and grade, it's going to take a lot of just digging through things and to find something for the price that you want, the condition you want. Sometimes you can find things in bargain bins and get pieces at a really good price. It's anybody's guess what's out there, what could be. Here's another example of a piece that I got for, I think, 20% off of this price. So I basically got this thing for, a little over spot, but it's pretty nice dime here. And so there's that. The other thing you want to take into account for is if you do see something, is to know what you're looking at. If it doesn't catch your eye, here's a mistake I made. I found those leopards, and I'm not even as familiar with them. I know some people posted they were all the rage several months ago, where they mistakenly put out these 100 SETIs on the coin. And those things were, obviously, the monetary amount of those was well over spot price. So it was a mistake. But they let those things out into the marketplace, and people capitalized on them real fast. And now they're going for a pretty high dollar, from what I understand. Well, a guy had some for $25 a piece. And I saw them, and I knew what they were. In fact, I looked on them, and I saw it said 100 SETI, and I thought to myself, well, it must be the 5 SETI that's rare. And I got it completely mixed around. I didn't think to look on my phone to really check it out, because that would have been something to acquire and to get, and would have gotten a great deal on those, because they were the rare and expensive coins. That same dealer had other modern pieces there, and he was charging quite a premium on the rest of the pieces that were there. Not terribly high, but much more than you would buy from APMEX or JM Bullion or Provident Metals and the like. So keep that in mind. If you see something, a dealer may not know what he's got. And that's the one thing about some of the dealers. Especially at these coin shows, especially if they get modern stuff and they specialize in the older stuff, they're buying it from people like you and me who may need to resell their silver. And a lot of these coin dealers, they don't pay these premiums for them. So I wouldn't say anything. If they're worth a whole lot of money, just take what they're asking for it and go. Because if they didn't take the time to do the research on it and realize that what they have is golden, well, that's their problem, I take a look, because they are still making money on the coin. But not only that, but also, more than likely these coin shows, you're not going to see many buyers of that kind of stuff anyway. I didn't see a whole lot of modern stuff, but I did see much more gold than I thought. And so I was kind of surprised to get the gold piece at spot price. And because I wasn't seeing people selling gold at spot. That was the second mistake I made, because I looked around and I found other things. Now, the second mistake I made with buying that piece just without looking around anymore, led to a third mistake that I could have made, which would have been worse. And that is, I found a 20 peso, almost a half an ounce of gold, for about $30 under spot. The problem is I didn't make the third mistake, even though I recognized the second mistake, is I didn't buy the coin. I didn't. Of course, I'd already spent money on the rooster there, but I didn't go back and ask for my money back, which the guy probably would have. He was a perfectly nice guy, because I didn't have it. And even if he would have taken a credit card or debit card, I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to put myself in debt. And that's the thing. Another thing you want to keep in mind, too, is don't overextend yourself. Even if you see a great deal, if it's not in your budget, another one will come along someday. Just mark it up as what it is and just move ahead. So don't overextend yourself, even though that was a great deal. And just kind of roll with it and kind of move on to the next thing. The other thing is, and I've mentioned this before, is don't always assume if you're going to buy a precious metals that it's genuine. More than likely you can tell by the feel and the weight of it, unless it's a really good tungsten copy or whatever. But if you have a precious metal verifier, bring it with you. And I was remiss to do that time. But I think it would have been wise if I had this, because there was a platinum piece. There was a platinum piece that was there. That was a 10th ounce that I was thinking about getting, because they had it reasonably priced. But it just didn't look right. It didn't look like the strike didn't look very sharp. And something was not altogether, didn't sit well with me, so I didn't buy it. Now, it could have been genuine. If I would have had this with me, I could have tested it, and I could have gotten platinum for just a little bit above spot. But I'm, looking back, now that I found the gold at spot, I'm glad I didn't do that, because I would have made the other mistake even earlier and came out further behind than I did. So I think I did okay at this show. But when you purchase fake gold or silver from a coin dealer that you won't see again because they were just only at the coin show, you're stuck with it unless you can track them down or what have you. Because I've done that before. I've bought. Now this was just a little copy of it. It was a silver reproduction of a state quarter that they made some of them in silver plated clad, and others in silver. And silver ones are marked and the other ones are not. And I bought the one that was clad for the price of silver because I just wasn't careful. The very last thing is to check the junk bins. Check all the junk bins. You never know what you might find. This guy had a $5 table, and I even asked him about this piece. It's unidentifiable, but it is ancient, and it is silver. I did test it. It is silver. So this is a silver ancient coin. Probably sometime in the 100s ADs, probably is my guess. And I got this thing for $5. And it's got weight to it, but it's kind of nice. You got yourself some ancient history for $5, and it's made of silver. Can't beat that, Sometimes things like that, they're just neat little pieces. And yes, I could probably take this to my LCS, and he may not even want it. But it's a piece of history that's lasted a millennia. And that's a lot of what coin collecting is about. You find pieces like that or pieces like this. This medal is commemorating World War I. I don't know a whole lot about it, but it's just a really cool looking piece and a nice medal that's been worn. And I love that angel, that warrior angel on the obverse of this piece with the sword. And this is the great something civilization. It says on there, and got stars and a list of the nations there. United States is in the center. I think it's a World War I victory medal or some sort. But yeah, you find pieces like this. No, it's not silver. No, it's not gold, but it's cool. You can find a lot of cool stuff like that for sale. And don't feel bad about buying stuff like this for your own liking, because collecting coins is more than just precious metals. It's about what you like. It's about what you enjoy. So enjoy it. And I hope you enjoyed this video and the lessons learned at the Coin Show. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude, y'all, for watching, and encourage you to please rate, comment, and subscribe.